In this class, I am planning to have intensive discussion upon the approaches or models or frameworks for critical language study. Okay, we discuss different approaches or different models for the critical studies in language education. I start with the general introduction of approaches or models. Later, I discuss you Norman Fairclough's three-dimensional model, then Jen Wheely's task-based model, and later I will talk you uh, Fairclough's dialectical rejoining or dialectical relational model. So these are the things that I am planning to discuss you. First, I start with models or approaches or frameworks in critical language study or critical language education. Then I will be talking at least three models. We don't go in such a detail. Fairclough, Norman Fairclough in 1992, he developed three-dimensional model of critical language study or critical discourse analysis. The thing is same. I talk you. Later, I talk you Wheely's model, Jane Wheely's in 1996. She developed, Wheely's developed a task-based model to engage students in critical activities in a language classroom or while teaching English as a second language or foreign language in the classroom. We can follow that very model. And later I'll talk you dialectical relational approach. So first introduction. Critical studies in language and life include different approaches, methods, and models developed from linguistics to socio-political, behavioral, and economic aspect. Economic aspect means related to power. Economy is power. Critical studies in language and life, they include different approaches. I mean, under the critical study, we need to talk different approaches, methods, and models. Those methods or models are derived or they are developed from linguistics to socio-political, behavioral, and economic aspects. Critical language study is itself interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary means a discipline or an approach that is developed out of the insights from different fields, out of the insights from different areas, out of the insights from different subjects. For example, including the ideas of economics, political science, sociology, anthropology, culture, literature, philosophy, then that is interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary means it has a relation with variety of disciplines in the field of linguistics and social sciences. Critical language study is itself interdisciplinary because it can be used by professionals, by scholars from a variety of backgrounds, such as historians, business institutions, lawyers, politicians, social and literary critics, to investigate social problems relating to their work. Here I mean to say that the approaches, methods, or models of critical studies are interdisciplinary in nature. They link or they relate the concepts to the different disciplines, including linguistics, history, sociology, anthropology, political science, literature, philosophy, etc. Critical study of language has been a house of many different rooms. What does it mean? What is the meaning? Critical study of language has been a house of many different rooms. It means in the critical study of language, we may focus on linguistics or language related features. That is a room of the house. We may focus on the issues of power, privilege, hegemony, domination, discrimination, ideology, context, consequences. So there are many different rooms. Critical study has a vast agenda. It has different concerns. So it has been used as a house of many different rooms. It means critical studies, they have brought different theories and methods together. It is eclectic. Do you know the meaning of eclectic? त्यो इक्लेक्टिक भनेको भाषा शिक्षणमा पनि इक्लेक्टिक मेथड भन्छ नि. Eclectic means selective. You select one among the others, or you can take some ideas from different methods and develop your own. Eclectic means choosy, selective भनेको. It is choosy or it is eclectic, selective in the selection of theories and methodologies. You can select any particular theories or methodologies in critical study of language. It means critical study of language is not rigid, is not hard and fast in a theory or methodology. Rather, it is eclectic. We can select different one. Research in critical linguistics is the study of text and conversation using linguistics from an avowedly politically committed perspectives. James Paul Gee, 2006, argues that in critical linguistics, we study the text and conversations, but we take politically committed perspectives. We don't simply reflect upon the formal linguistic aspect of the conversation. Rather, we see formal linguistic aspect as well as socio-political aspects, behavioral aspect. So it is the study of text and conversations using linguistics from an avowedly politically, avowedly means very explicitly, clearly politically committed perspective. Critical studies has a very wide agenda. We discussed in the earlier class too. The agenda is studying language related aspect, studying social ills or social wrongs, studying the relationship between language and power, discourse and power, discursive structure and power structure, like that. Studies in critical language and life, they are different from the studies in other disciplines because it has critique, because it aims to bring transformation, because it comes with different alternatives. Critical studies in critical language, they are different from the studies in other disciplines. Other disciplines means maybe in mathematics, maybe in maybe in literature, maybe in sociology, maybe in pure science, maybe in business studies. Studies in critical language and life, they are different from the studies in other disciplines. So it is not easy to precisely delimit. Delimit means confine the special approaches, practices, aims, theories, or methods of critical studies. Here, Van Dyke mean to say, Tune Van Dyke, he means to say that we find a number of approaches, theories, and methods in critical studies or for critical studies. However, the nature of being critical, problem posing, subjective interpretation. Subjective means presenting different perspectives. Explanatory, normative, these are some of the characteristics. These are some of the characteristics that help us understand critical language study is different from other areas. भन्न खोजेको के हो त भन्दा critical language study को कुनै एउटा आफ्नै अप्रोच भन्ने छैन. यो इक्लेक्टिक हो. यसले धेरै अप्रोचेस, धेरै थियरिज, धेरै मेथड्सहरू लिन्छ. यद्यपि अप्रोच मेथड जे जसो भए तापनि केही कुराहरू कमन छन्। ती कमन भनेको being critical, being problem posing, having subjective interpretation, using explanatory critique, normative critique. These are some of the characteristics that help us understand critical language study is different from other areas of humanities and social sciences. Critical study, it provides a discursive lens. You know discursive lens? It means it creates a space for dialogue, debates, discussions through which language, power, ideology, and social structures they are analyzed. It means critical study provides a discursive lens. It provides us framework. It provides us alternatives. It provides us some approaches through which language, power, ideology, and social structures they are analyzed within social practices. We use critical theories in critical language study. Get it? We use critical theories. Critical theories, they challenge the status quo. Critical theories, they provoke not to accept anything else as granted. Critical theory त क्वेसन गर भने हो नि त. What and how aspectलाई not what, how and why aspectलाई हेर. कुनै कुराको एउटै सत्य हुँदैन, तर यसका विभिन्न भिजनहरू, विभिन्न दृष्टिकोण हुन सक्छन्. त्यस्ता विभिन्न दृष्टिकोणहरू केलाऊ भने हो नि. Critical theories, they often draw from scholars such as Foucault, Michel Foucault, Gramsci, Antonio Gramsci, Althusser means Louis Althusser, Jürgen Habermas, and Pierre Bourdieu. These are sociological theorists. These are philosophers too. Critical theories, we use critical theories in critical study of language, and those critical theories often draw their work from different scholars like Foucault, Gramsci, Althusser, Habermas, and Bourdieu to examine how language shapes and reflects power dynamics and social realities. It means in critical study of language, we use the approaches, and those approaches are useful. Those approaches reflect power dynamics and social realities. Okay. We employ different methods. For example, Fairclough's three-dimensional framework. For example, Roth-Odak's discourse historical approach, Van Dyck cognitive approach, Gunther Kreis and Theo van Leeuwen's multimodal discourse analysis, or even we take Gabriele Nuri's CCDA, cultural critical discourse analysis, or neoliberal neo-global practice. We employ different methods to examine linguistic features, formal linguistic features like vocabulary, tense, voice, cohesion, coherence, discursive strategies, strategies used in communication to make it meaningful, and social practices. Social practices means how peoples are engaged in social activities. Social practices, it may be democratic practice, it may be autocratic practice, it may be feudal, it may be liberal, it may be hegemonic. So we employ different methods to examine linguistic features, discursive strategies, and social practices to uncover, means to point out, to bring out, to uncover underlying power relations. Power is everywhere. You can simply feel power even in your classroom. You were talking together, then when you saw me, you stopped your talking. There is also the issue of power. You thought that teacher is now here in the classroom, and teacher may perceive it quite differently. That's why better to stop to talk. त्यो पनि पावर रिलेसन्स हो नि। कसैसँग हामी अप्ठ्यारो मान्छौँ, डर मान्छौँ, धक मान्छौँ भने देयर कम्स द इस्यु अफ पावर। देयर इज नट ओन्ली रेस्पेक्ट। सम्मान गर्ने पनि पावरै देखेर हो। पावरै नभएकालाई त वी डोन्ट डु। क्रिटिकल स्टडिजले हेर्छ टु अनकभर अन्डरलाइङ पावर रिलेसन्स, इडियोलोजिज। Ideologies means individuals' working system, their faith system, their belief system, and social injustices. We resist social injustices. Having critical stance, we try to challenge the injustices that we find everywhere. It means the methods or approaches or models of critical language study or critical discourse analysis. They examine linguistic features, discursive strategies, and social practices to uncover power relation, ideologies, and social injustices. Okay. The methods, they often include techniques like linguistic analysis. Only having linguistic analysis, that is the discourse analysis. Linguistic analysis means studying spoken or written text in terms of their language-related features. Semiotic studies. Do you know semiotic? Studying meaning from multiple perspectives. That is called semiotic studies. Critical reading and discourse processing. Critical reading means reading with questions. Reading by posing several questions. And discourse processing means how communication gets succeed or how a text is constructed. Within critical research, the researchers or we people, we can make a choice of methods to unpack text, uncover hidden meaning. Unpack means unfold the text. Text ko artha bujhnaka लागि. Uncover hidden meanings. There could be some hidden interest behind saying something else. The vested interest we say. We use within critical study of language, we make a choice of the methods, or we make a choice of the approaches or even models to unpack text, uncover hidden meanings, and reveal how language constructs and perpetuates social hierarchies and inequalities. How language construct and perpetuates social hierarchies and inequalities. कहिलेकाहीँ तपाईले कक्षामा बच्चाहरूलाई त भन्नुहुन्छ। किन भन्नुहुन्छ त? दुई अर्थले भन्नुहुन्छ। कन्टेक्स्ट हेर्नु पर्यो। एउटा त एकदमै माया गरेर त भनिन्छ, जति नजिक भयो त्यति। अर्को त भनेको अनादर गरेर हैन। अनादर किन हुन्छ त भन्दा यु फाइन्ड डिफरेन्स इन हायरार्की, देयर कम्स सोशल हायरार्की, एन्ड that using taboo, using the impolite form is a kind of inequalities. Anyway, the different models or approaches or methods of critical language study, they examine the meaning of text, formal linguistic features of the text, the issues raised in the text and talk, ill social practices, and also aim to reveal how language constructs and perpetuates social hierarchies and inequalities. Okay, if we take critical studies as approaches, then it has been applied in following 3 different levels. We can carry out a critical study at least in 3 levels. हामीले हेर्यौं भने पनि 3 तहको critical study हुन्छ। एउटा त प्रोग्रामेटिक लेभल, हामी कुनै समाजमा गएर जनचेतना जगाउने, यसो नगर्नुस्, उसो नगर्नुस्, यो गर्दा राम्रो हुन्छ, कसैलाई एम्पावर गर्ने काम गर्छौं नि, त्यो पनि आफैमा क्रिटिकल हो। because you have an emancipatory objective. You want to bring transformations. You work to bring change. That is the programmatic level in the form of awareness program. CDA critical discourse analysis भनेको मात्रै एउटा टेक्स्टको विश्लेषण रहन्छ के कुनै विपन्न अल्पसंख्यक अथवा समस्यामा रहेको समाजमा गएर तपाईले एउटा अवेरनेस जगाउने कुनै कार्यक्रमहरू सञ्चालन गर्नुभयो जस्तो एनजिओ आइएनजिओहरूले गर्छन् नि त्यो पनि एउटा के हो त दैट इज अल्सो अ critical discourse analysis or critical language study we say. It takes part at the programmatic level. Second, it can be conducted at the social level. अब कार्यक्रमकै रूपमा नभएर विभिन्न छलफल अन्तर्क्रिया बहस पैरवीहरू हुन्छ त्यो छलफल अन्तर्क्रिया बहस पैरवी पनि के हो त that is also critical study, that is also critical discourse analysis. At the social level we can conduct it, or it has been applied at the social level, for example in the form of peer and group discussion, in the form of discourse forum, विभिन्न छलफल समूहहरू, and the social campaigns. And at the historical level अब हामीले चाहिँ यो बढी हाम्रो साँगुरो अर्थले हिस्टोरिकल लेभलमा बुझ्छौं. That is the study of problems, text, perspectives, theories, and the research. We can conduct critical studies, or we can carry out critical language analysis by studying perplexing problems of the society, by examining different views, opinions, and ideologies of different peoples involved, that is perspectives, and the theories and research. Yeah. Now, models or approaches of critical language studies. It is just the background. It is just to set the context of using different models or approaches of critical language studies. Yes, CDA or we say critical language study भन्नु र critical discourse analysis एउटै हो है. हामीले we are using them interchangeably because both of them are grown up from critical linguistics. Critical discourse analysis is a form of critical social analysis. Norman Fairclough says the critical studies are the critical social analysis because we are social. Human beings are social and we feel privilege in society as well as we feel humiliated in a society. We experience bitter as well as better stories, bitter as well as better events in a society. So why not to analyze the society? When you see the social practices from critical eyes, then that is critical study. Critical social analysis, it shows how forms of social life can damage people unnecessarily. Sometimes these social, different forms of social life damage people. हेर्नु त कति मान्छेले चाहिँ दुर्व्यवहार सहन नसकेर आत्महत्या गरे हुन्छन्, दुर्व्यवहार उत्पीडन सहन नसकेर चाहिँ घर छोडेर भाग्या हुन्छन्, उत्पीडन सहन नसकेर सबै चीजको माया मारेर कहीँ गएर एक्लो जीवन बिताइरहेका हुन्छन्. यसले त त्यसरी हेर्छ नि त. critical social analysis shows how forms of social life can damage people unnecessarily, but also critical studies, they empower, they also think, they also provide some ways to bring change, but also how they can be changed. It shows both as an interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach. Multi means useful in various disciplines, that is multi. Useful in different areas. Inter means share concerns directly or indirectly with variety of disciplines or approaches. Critical studies, critical language studies or critical discourse analysis, It includes a set of assumptions, okay? Yeah, a set of assumptions to the study of discourse, from the habit of evaluating an object or situation in accordance with the system of rules, means law of order. System of rule भनेको कार्य पद्धति हो कि principles and values. Approaches in critical studies, they offer better explanatory understanding. किन हामी अप्रोच पढ्दैछौँ, किन हामी मोडल पढ्दैछौँ त भन्दा they offer us, they provide better explanatory understanding of relations between discourse and other components of social life, between our interaction and other components, means maybe economy, maybe education, maybe literacy, maybe politics, maybe business. Okay, they offer better explanatory understanding. Different models of critical language studies, they have followed at least 2 levels of analysis. अब यो मोडलहरूले दुई तहको विश्लेषणलाई प्रेफर गरेका छन्। सामान्यतया the different models of critical language studies, they have followed at least 2 levels of analysis. One is micro-lexico-grammatical level. It is the linguistic and semiotic study. Semiotic means meaning. Micro-lexico-grammatical level, यो तहमा हामी औपचारिक भाषिक विशेषता अथवा भाषिक पक्षहरूको डिस्कोर्समा भएको प्रयोग हेर्छौं। जस्तो तपाईले कहिलेकाहीँ इट्स ब्युटिफुल भन्नुहुन्छ, इट्स फ्यान्टास्टिक भन्नुहुन्छ। ब्युटिफुल र फ्यान्टास्टिक प्रयोग गर्नुको पछाडि पनि तपाईको इन्टेन्सन आशय त छ नि, किनकि फ्यान्टास्टिक हैज हायर डिग्री अफ इम्प्लिकेसन देन द ब्युटिफुल. Sometimes you use present tense and sometimes you use past tense. Why? Because there is meaning. Sometimes you say I and sometimes you say we. At that time you try to be more inclusive. Green vegetable भन्नु र organic vegetable भन्नुमा कति फरक छ? खाना कस्तो छ भन्दा फ्रेश छ भन्नु र डेलिसियस छ भन्नुमा कति फरक छ? भनेको त मान्छेले विभिन्न भोक्याबुलरी चोइस गरेर they express different meanings. At least these approaches, they prefer to have 2 levels of analysis. One is micro-lexico-grammatical level analysis. This is called study of the formal linguistic features like vocabulary, tense aspect, passivization, adjective adverbs, metaphors. And next one is micro-semantic and societal level analysis. That is the study of meaning, context, power relations, discursive structures, issues, social issues like domination, discrimination, inequalities, and ideologies or perspectives, or diverse opinions of the people. Okay, thus, critical studies in language education. Critical studies in language education is about the textual analysis of text or discourse or conversation. And textual भन्ने बित्तिकै कुनै लेखिएको मात्रै होइन, संवादका विभिन्न स्वरूपहरू हो। तो संवाद कहिले कथ्य हुन्छ, कहिले लेख्य हुन्छ, कहिले सांकेतिक सिम्बोलिक पनि हुन्छ। Communication is symbolic too. Critical studies in language education is about the textual analysis from micro-lexico-grammatical level to the macro-semantic and societal levels. Here, the role of analyst. For example, we people, if we want to examine the text critically, if we want to study how something is going on in our society critically, We need to locate our work with an understanding of notion of mapping the use of language into the linguistic and extra-linguistic levels. Extra-linguistic means societal level. Linguistic and extra-linguistic levels of context and ideology. Now, here we discuss different models or approaches of critical studies. In your syllabus, there we find at least 6 models. There are many different models, but considering the weightage of the course, we just discuss some approaches or models, and we can carry out research in critical studies by using these different models. And one of the frequently used model is Fairclough's three-dimensional model. Do you know Fairclough? Who is he? Norman Fairclough? The भन्नुस् त, who is Fairclough? Because we are studying here Fairclough. He is the founding member of critical discourse analysis or critical studies. He is an emeritus professor at the Lancaster University, USA. A critical linguist, ideological critic, political scientist, and even text linguist. The credit goes to Norman Fairclough, who for the first time extended critical linguistics to critical discourse analysis. He published a very famous book in 1989. Do you know what is the book? 1989, he published Language and Power. पहिलोचोटि भाषालाई भाषिक पक्षसँग मात्रै सीमित नगरेर भाषालाई सामाजिक, राजनीतिक, आर्थिक पक्षसँग जोडेर विश्लेषण गर्ने कार्यको श्रेय चाहिँ नर्म्यान फेयरक्लोलाई जान्छ। ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा भाषा मात्रै हुन्न, देयर कम्स इकोनोमी, देयर कम्स एजुकेसन। शिक्षित र अशिक्षितले बोल्ने भाषा देख्ने बित्तिकै यो त एजुकेटेड रहेछ, यो अनएजुकेटेड रहेछ भन्नुहुन्छ। विभिन्न वर्गका मान्छे बोल्ने बित्तिकै यो धनी रहेछ, यो गरिब रहेछ। यु कम टु आइडेन्टिफाई वेदर ही इज रिच अर पुअर बाई मिन्स अफ हिज डिस्कोर्स। भुजा खाइसियो भन्छ धनीले, पेट भरिस, जाउलो हालिस, अथवा खाना खाइस भन्छ गरिबले। भन्न खोजेको भाषा मात्रै त हुन्न, भाषाभित्र संस्कृति हुन्छ, भाषाभित्र जात हुन्छ, भाषाभित्र एउटा विचार प्रवृत्ति हेर्ने दृष्टिकोण आइडियोलोजी हुन्छ। भाषाभित्र फेरि राजनीति पनि हुन्छ, कसैले कसैलाई एकदम बिजनी गरी भने हुन्छ। भाषाभित्र दुर्व्यवहार पनि हुन्छ, भाषिक दुर्व्यवहारहरू हामी हेरेका हुन्छौँ। हो, यस्तो पक्षलाई उठान गर्ने श्रेय चाहिँ फेयरक्लोलाई जान्छ। Fairclough developed three-dimensional model for the critical study of language and literature as well as life, and we discuss this model. Anyway, Fairclough is an emeritus professor of linguistics and social sciences at Lancaster University. Still he is alive. He has made thought-provoking contribution. Some people regard Norman Fairclough as the father of critical language study. Fairclough को धेरै बुक छ, critical language study, language and power, language and politics, language and ideology. Okay, now the first one is, अब हामी approaches मा गयौं। The first one is Fairclough's three-dimensional model. थ्री डिमेन्सनल भनेको के हो त भन्दा तीन तहको अध्ययन गर्छौं के हामीले थ्री लेभल्स अफ एनालाइसिस discourse is overall communication discourse is social practice we analyze that social practice at least from three dimensions Fairclough 1992 A यो ए भनेको के हो किन लेख्या होला नि यो ए 1992 ए भनेको यसले 1992 मा त्यही वर्ष यसले दुईटा किताब निकाल्यो अथवा दुईटा आर्टिकल लेख्यो ए भनेको पहिलो हो के उसले पहिलो प्रतिको एउटै वर्ष एउटा कसैले दुईटा प्रकाशित गर्छ भने अथवा बढी गर्छ भने पहिलोलाई ए दोस्रोलाई बी तेस्रोलाई सी भनिन्छ के if you publish 2 books in a year and if someone cites then he or she writes A for the first and B for the second and accordingly Fairclough sketches a three-dimensional framework for conceiving of and analyzing discourse analyzing communication analyzing events genre text analyzing social practice the first dimension is discourse as text पहिलो हामी टेक्स्टको तहबाट हेर्छौं के देखियो के बोल्यो के भन्यो हेर्छौं दोस्रो कसरी भन्यो कसरी लेख्यो कसरी गर्यो हेर्छौं तेस्रो त्यो भन्नु गर्नुका पछाडी त्यहाँ सोसाइटीको रोल के छ त्यो त्यसै भने त छैन there can be something hidden and that hidden could be the result of the society okay anyway three-dimensional model first dimension is discourse as text that is the study of linguistic features and organization of concrete instances of discourse Fairclough argues that in critical study you can begin simply with the text and you see the choices and patterns in vocabulary that is wording and metaphor grammar choices and patterns in grammar maybe transitivity and modality Norman Fairclough introduced three-dimensional framework for critical language study or this framework is for conceiving of and analyzing discourse. Discourse is social practice. Discourse is whatever we do for meaning making. The first dimension is discourse as text. This is the linguistic feature and organization of concrete instance of discourse. And Fairclough argues that choices and patterns in vocabulary, grammar, cohesion, and text structure, they should be systematically analyzed. Yeah, choices and patterns in vocabulary means, for example, wordings or metaphors. Choices and patterns in grammar, for example, transitivity means active or passive. Modality means modal meaning like tense and aspect. Cohesion, cohesion means unity in a text cohesion can be maintained by using conjunction references or schemata means that is coherence discourse coherence meaning and text structure for example tone taking system text structure topic and discussion topic and continuity topic and switch of the topic shift of the topic like this. This should be systematically analyzed. And the second one is, what about the second dimension? Second dimension is discourse as discursive practice. First, we see the text, we examine the text. Next, how text is used, where it is used, who use the text. Second dimension is discourse as discursive practice. Blumard says it is discourse as something that is produced. something that is circulated, distributed, or consumed in society. Fairclough says these means the process of production, circulation, distribution, and consumption. These processes भनेको the process of text production, circulation, distribution, consumption. तपाईले फेसबुकमा कुनै पोस्ट लेख्नुभयो, त्यो प्रोड्युस गर्नुभयो नि, फेसबुकले सर्कुलेट गर्छ अनि त्यसलाई मान्छेले फरक फरक ढंगले बुझेर तपाईकोमा कमेन्ट गरे हुन्छन्, कन्ज्युम गरे हुन्छन्. Fairclough sees these processes largely in terms of circulation of concrete linguistic object. For example, specific text or text types that are produced, circulated, consumed, and so forth. So the second dimension is discourse as discursive practice. It means studying text or conversation or discourse as something that is produced, circulated, distributed, and consumed in a society. And approaching discourse as a discursive practice means that in analyzing vocabulary, grammar, cohesion, and text structure, attention should be given to speech act. Attention should be given to coherence, means meaningfulness, and intertextuality. Intertextuality, textual pattern, relationship of one text with another. These three aspects that link a text to its context. भनेपछि पहिलो लेभलको स्टडी हामीले टेक्स्ट हेर्यौं. टेक्स्ट भित्र हामीले फर्मल लिंग्विस्टिक एस्पेक्ट, वोक्याबुलरी, ग्रामर, कोहेजन अनि टेक्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर हेर्यौं. अब दोस्रो टेक्स्ट डिस्कोर्स एज टेक्स्ट हेर्दा त्यो हेर्यौं. अब डिस्कोर्स एज डिस्कर्सिभ प्र्याक्टिस हेर्दाखेरि attention should be given to what is said, who said, why said, how it is understood. हामी त त्यो प्रोडक्सन, कन्जम्पसन, डिस्ट्रिब्युसन हेर्ने हो नि त. Attention should be given to speech acts, coherence, and intertextuality. These three aspects that link a text to its context. And Fairclough distinguishes between manifest intertextuality and constitutive intertextuality. Manifest means that is overtly drawing upon other text. केही कुरा अन्यबाट लिएर हामीले डेभलप गरिया हुन्छ. त्यस्ता धेरै टेक्स्टहरू हुन्छन्, तपाईले लेखे जस्तै अन्यले पनि लेखेका हुन्छन्, तिनमा समानता हुन्छ त्यो अथवा फरकता हुन्छ. त्यो टेक्स्ट बीचको रिलेसन केलाउने इंटरटेक्सुअलिटी हो. That can be manifest intertextuality as well as constitutive intertextuality. I already discussed you in unit 2. Constitutive intertextuality, or that is interdiscursivity. That means texts are made up of heterogeneous elements like generic conventions, discourse types, register, style. So studying those aspects. And now we move to the third dimension. What about the third dimension? The third dimension is discourse as a social practice. How that very text is used in the society. What effects or what impacts does it give? How it is understood. Third dimension is discourse as social practice, that is the ideological effect and hegemonic processes. Ideological effect of the text and the hegemonic process. You know hegemonic means it may dominate, it may distort, it may force people to believe. Hegemony concerns power. हेजिमोनी भन्ने शब्द कसले प्रयोग गरेको अरे? Who used the term hegemony for the first time? Italian communist leader Antonio Gramsciले प्रयोग गरेको कल्चरल हेजिमोनी भनेर. हेजिमोनी भनेको ग्रुपिजम हो कि सामान्य अर्थमा कुनै एउटा टेक्स्ट दियो तपाईलाई बाध्य भएर त्यो अपनाउन पर्यो. तपाईले एउटा भाष्य तयार गरिन्छ जुन भाष्यमा सत्यता नभए तापनि त्यसले भ्रम सिर्जना गर्छ यो हो भन्ने हुन्छ. त्यस्ता विभिन्न भाष्यहरू आएका हुन्छन् नि. त्यो भाष्यलाई हेजिमोनी भनेको हो के here hegemony concerns power that is achieved through constructing alliances and integrating classes and groups through consent so that the articulation and re-articulation of orders or rules of discourse is correspondingly one stake in hegemonic struggle. Okay, one stake in hegemonic struggle. So here hegemony is a situation in which you got influenced or you are forced to believe something by heart, by interest, you are not interested to do so. तपाईको इच्छा विपरीत कसैले केही कुरा स्वीकार्न बाध्य बनाउनु भनेकै हेजिमनी हो हेजिमनी भनेको एउटा मेन डोमिनेन्टले अरूलाई सरप्रेस गरेको अवस्था हो के जस्तो अंग्रेजीले अन्य भाषाहरुमाथि हेजिमनी क्रिएट गरेको छ नि त कक्षा कोठामा नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेजको हेजिमनी छ बच्चाहरु त तपाईको कोठामा 5-7 वटा भाषाहरु बोल्लान् but you use Nepali as a hegemonic language that has the power that suppresses the other languages. It is from this third dimension that Fairclough construct his approach to change. What to change? To change hegemonic practices, hegemonic change, and this can be witnessed in discursive change. The way in which conversation, interaction, or discourse is being represented, re-spoken or rewritten, sheds light on the emergence of new orders of discourse, struggles over normativity, attempts at control, and resistance against regime of power. So the third dimension critically examines how the text is practiced, how that is exercised in the society, that is social practice. The model of discourse Fairclough develops is framed in a theory of ideological process in society. The third one, three dimension भनेकै पहिलो discourse as a text, second discourse as discursive practice, third one is discourse as social practice. Now, very simply, this model has been developed for the analysis of, okay, it has been developed for the analysis of text, discursive practice, and social practice together within a single framework. Text means description of linguistic features. At the level of text, we give description of linguistic features. At the level of discursive practice, we give interpretation of meaning in context and communication. At the level of social practice, explanation of ideology and explanation of how the language used in the text reflects and contributes in the reproduction of power relations. भनेपछि यसले के सजेस्ट गर्यो त भन्दा हामीले कुनै कुरा अध्ययन गर्दैछौं भने पहिला टेक्स्ट लिनुस्. फर एक्जाम्पल लेट्स सी we are in tension, okay, we are in tension these days because of increasing price hike, increasing price hike of everything else that we desire, that we require, that we need to sustain, or that we need to live or sustain. अब यो टेक्स्ट भयो के डिस्कोर्स आफैमा टेक्स्ट हो. पहिलो तहको विश्लेषणमा यसको भाषिक पक्षहरू, यसको भोक्याबुलरी, यसको ग्रामर स्ट्रक्चर, यसको ट्रान्जिटिभिटी यो हेर्नु नि भयो. अब दोस्रोमा चाहिँ यो कसले प्रड्युस गर्यो, यो कसरी डिस्ट्रिब्युटेड भयो, कसरी कन्ज्युम भयो, कसरी सर्कुलेटेड भयो, यसको सामाजिक डिस्कर्सिभ प्र्याक्टिस मिन्स इट्स युज इन कम्युनिकेसन। कन्टेक्स्ट र कम्युनिकेसनमा जोड दिन्छौँ दोस्रोमा। तेस्रो चाहिँ यो सोसल प्र्याक्टिस हो। यहाँ हेर्दाखेरि मान्छेहरू समाजमा एकदमै अहिले तनावमा छन्, किनकि महँगी धेरै बढ्दो छ, इन्कम कम छ, महँगीको मारमा सबै परेका छन् र धेरै मान्छेलाई जिउन धौधौ भएको छ। यो महँगी चाहिँ केही व्यक्तिहरूको नियन्त्रणमा बजार छ, दलालीकरण छ। दलालले गर्दा सानो चिजको पनि ठुलो मूल्य तिर्नुपर्छ। सरकार अस्थिर छ, सरकारको बजारमाथि नियन्त्रण छैन। त्यो भएर मान्छेहरूमा अहिले यस्तो एक किसिमको फ्रस्ट्रेसन आएको छ भनौँ भने त्यो टेक्स्ट एज अ सोसल प्र्याक्टिस हो। यसले त इडियोलोजी हेर्छ नि त, यसले त पावर हेर्छ, यसले हेजिमनी हेर्छ। किने किन्नुस्, नकिने जानुस् भनिदिन्छन्। अब महँगी छ भनेर नकिनी फर्केर भयो, अलि मिलाएर दिनुस् न भन्दाखेरि इफ यु वान्ट टु टेक इट यु टेक अवे, इफ नट यु क्यान गो भनिदिन्छ। त्यो हेजिमनी हो नि त। फेरि जहाँ त्यहाँ छोड्यो, अर्को ठाउँमा गयो त्यति नै मूल्य हुन्छ, अर्को ठाउँमा गयो त्यति नै मूल्य हुन्छ। द्याट इज कल्ड हेजिमनी। थर्ड लेभलमा हामी त्यसलाई त्यसरी हेर्छौँ। ओके, नाउ यु सी इट इन द फर्म अफ मोडल। So Fairclough in his Discourse and Social Change, Fairclough 1992 in his book Discourse and Social Change has presented the following framework for critical language study. So you see the text at first and give description of text, that is text analysis. Then we interpret the meaning, and at the discourse practice, it is the processing analysis, that is production, circulation, distribution, consumption. And the third one is socio-cultural practice. It is explanation of its ideological and social aspect. So we explain situational, institutional, and societal level. In the text, we see the process of production and the process of interpretation. The process of production, the process of interpretation भन्नु second level analysis हो, discursive practice level analysis. First level को analysis ले त description of formal linguistic features. Second level, it deals with the process of production and process of interpretation. Process of production of the text, process of interpretation of the meaning of the text. And third level is the explanation one, that is socio-cultural practice. But they are interrelated too. This is what we call three-dimensional model of studying language from critical point of view. The thing is, Fairclough has discussed three specific aspects to be touched or to be explained. To be explained, okay, to be asked or to be explained in discourse analysis. The first level is study of the text itself. You find the text or conversation and you examine formal linguistic aspect. And the same text is studied from the perspective of discourse practice. Second one, discourse practice means how that very text is used in the society, that is used in communication. What is the process of production? Okay, what is the process of production? What is the process of interpretation? So in communication, we see that text, who said, why, where. We deal with these questions. And at the third level, we link the text with society. And we discuss the ideology of the text. We discuss the socio-cultural practice of the text. We can link that with the situation, institutional and societal concern, societal aspect. So this is what, Okay, this is what it is: the study of text from the perspective of language at first, from the perspective of meaning and communication in the second phase, and in the third phase, the practice of using this kind of text in a social cultural regime, or in societal level, in political level, in the level of overall or broad meaning making. So the thing is, social practice is explanation of ideology and explanation of how the language used in the text reflects and constitutes. Discursive practice, interpretation of meaning in relation to context, and communication. First one is description of linguistic features. This is the meaning of three-dimensional approach of Fairclough.